Video games, you may have heard of them.
Oh, Freddy, please! That worked? What the?
Mechanics? Yeah, you might have heard of them too. When it comes to video game releases nowadays, most, if not all of them, hinge on whether or not you bring something unique to the table, while at the same time, managing to make the gameplay of said unique mechanic enjoyable. Like, sure, you could have a story worth winning a Nobel Peace Prize, but if the gameplay loop is doo-doo poo-poo, not a lot of people are gonna want to play it. And so, I want to take the time to highlight some of these cool and unique mechanics that make a game worth playing, at least in my eyes. Okay, so first up is Mr. Masaji. You, go on dates and stuff. Is that a mayo jar? Okay, so the first game is actually Helldivers 2. Certain people will say that this game died because of that whole Sony/PlayStation debacle, but seeing as I'm a certified console plebeian myself, it didn't really affect me. However, even if my main platform was on PC, I no doubt would still be playing this game because 1. The stratagem system is sick as hell, 2. I can blow shit up, and 3. While the stratagem system might look simple at first, there's actually some hidden complexity. When it comes to using items in games, and a lot of them, it boils down to one button input. However, in Helldivers 2, if you want to use the main brunt on your force, aka the stratagems, well, I hope you practice your Dance Dance Revolution skills. Not only does it feel engaging to swiftly and cleanly input a combination, there's a bit of nuance in actually using these in combat, since one wrong input could be that extra second between life or death. And then there's the actual payoff of deploying your stratagems. Why waste your time on Call of Duty trying to grind for some mid-kill streaks when you can have some heavy bombardment artillery at your beck and call? The amount of fun I had just blowing shit up and being able to learn these stratagem codes by heart really makes the experience worthwhile. There are also some really cool things you can do with your weapons in the game as well. For example, you can toggle different firing rates, different fire modes, and with the latest update, you can even toggle different ammo types on the go. And that's not even mentioning the elephant in the room. Let's see, why are we fighting again? Oh yeah, we're in the middle of a galactic war. A war that you and other players can make a difference in as you complete major orders, liberate planets, and ultimately shape the story going forward. It's this innovative system that makes the Helldivers community one of the closest knit I've seen compared to other gaming fandoms, as it truly feels that everyone is a part of the war effort and that the actions of the player really matter. It's for that reason that I love this game so much, and I can't wait to see how the game looks in a few years. Oh wow, who could have seen this coming? So to get the obvious one out of the way, yeah, everybody loves the movement, and I'm no exception. Because I mean, it's kind of hard to hate on that system when you can do something like this. And while I enjoy it, there's another cool aspect of the game that I slightly enjoy better. Now, I'm not the biggest mecha fan, I haven't really watched anything like Gundam. Shout out to Gurren Lagann. But I can't deny the fact that Titans feel really good in this game. As a Ronin main, I love sneaking up on my enemies, and when it comes to interacting with pilots, I love turning them into sliced sushi. However, I will admit, sometimes even I get annoyed with the power that these guys can wield, at least in pilot-based modes. It won't stop me though, from putting down the game. I wonder what's down here. I think I want to go back. You know, the first time I played Superliminal, I had to convince myself that I wasn't on some sort of acid trip. Okay, I lied, but it might as well have been true because this game really makes you think outside the box. So as you can probably guess by now, this is a puzzle game, and if upon hearing that you already skipped ahead, well, I don't really blame you. I'm not really the type for brain games per se. I play video games in the first place so that I can partially get some release from that burden of actually using my brain. Okay, so I put it... how the... oh. What? There we go. However, upon looking at the trailer for this game, I knew I had to try it. If not for its incredibly charming and relaxing music, but also this whole reality is what you perceive mechanic. Suffice to say that not only does the shrinking and enlarging of objects scratch my brain the right way, the devs over at Pillow Castle have managed to not only make this whole thing into just a puzzle game, but a whole entire experience. I'm not gonna go too deep into this game, because honestly, if I did, I'd be stuck here for at least half an hour, but yeah, definitely one of the most innovative games I played in recent memory. Called that some depth deception. Get it? Because, you know, the game messes with your perception, and, yeah, okay, I'll just... I definitely don't play this game as much as I used to. It still has that small yet special place in my heart. Coming from a long list of free-to-play shooters, the Final does have one thing that puts it above the rest. Well, depending on who you ask. Sarcasm aside, one of the greatest qualities that this game has is its destructible environment. And when I say destructible, you better believe that I mean destructible. Like, taking down an entire building with a sledgehammer destructible. Coupled along with its 3-class system, the Finals blends strategic arena combat with dopamine-inducing level destruction. This sounds like a recipe for success, right? Well, yeah, it's pretty good. But you might have noticed that I said I don't play this game as much as I used to. That's because honestly, no shade to the developers, it's just not my type of game. Now, don't get me wrong, the title of this video is unique game mechanics that I really like, and I really do love the destruction you can cause to the surrounding levels. But yeah, this type of game wasn't really going to keep me engaged for the long term, and yes, that is a fault of my own, don't blame the developers. You know what I would have loved to see this type of environmental destruction though? A Battlefield game. And so I sit down and pray that hopefully we'll see this type of destruction in a future Battlefield game. Two words. Card, roguelite. Like Superliminal, this is another one of those games where on the surface, I probably go, boring. But once I got a taste of its delectable formula, I never went back. Basically, your objective in this game is to slay the spire. Okay, that seems kind of weird, it's looking like more of a tower. Oh. But how does one slay the spire? Well, as you make your way up the 3 floors, you'll encounter different enemies, events, and bosses. All the while, you'll be building a deck of cards from which you can slay your enemies with. For a seemingly simple concept at face value, there's actually a lot of hidden complexity and strategy to be found within. For example, you might be forced into a certain build of cards like a poison deck or a strength deck, and along with a unique cast of 4 characters, all with cards of their own, there are so many possibilities and routes when it comes to reaching that end goal. And with that comes another huge strength of this game, replayability. Along with varying levels of difficulties known as ascensions, you can unlock more items and cards along the way. For reference, I've sunk about 70 hours into this game combined from the console and mobile port, and the max ascension level is 20. My current highest ascension level is 4. Anyways, I highly recommend this, even if you're not a fan of card games, because trust me, this becomes addicting real fast. Now, sitting atop my imaginary wall of favorite games and such is Team Fortress 2, and that's because, for a 17-year-old game, nobody else has ever seemed to get that vibe that TF2 just seems to exhibit naturally. From the iconic characters, the seemingly simple yet complex gameplay, its cultural impact on the video game landscape as a whole, it's no wonder that this game is considered by many to be a timeless masterpiece. Okay, yeah. So with that, I'm only going to be talking about one aspect of the game because quite frankly, this game has been dissected to death, and 2, this is another game I could spend just an entire hour just yapping about. Okay, so weapons. In a lot of video games, specifically the hero shooter genre, there isn't many ways to change the playstyle of a character apart from the role they're meant to be played. The most obvious example of this is Overwatch 2, where it essentially just boils down to this. Tank stand in the tank spot, support stay in the support spot, and the DPS kind of just, I don't know, exists wherever the action is. Like, you're not going to be frontlining as Sombra because that's simply not your character's role, no matter how much you want to change that. As long as you have that base kit of going invisible and teleporting, your best bet at being effective is staying on the flank. It's this design philosophy and the switch over to 5v5 that makes the notion of counter-swapping, the idea of changing a hero to have an advantage over another, so prevalent. And while that isn't so bad at first, it ultimately starts feeling like a game of rock, paper, scissors instead. Now, don't get me wrong, the idea of counter-swapping exists in TF2 as well, because obviously a guy like Pyro hard counters the spy. However, it's less of an issue in this game because 1, there's just more people in an average game of TF2, so an individual's action means less, aka if you're doing bad, it has less of an effect on your team than games with a smaller lobby size. And 2, TF2 has unlockable weapons that act as side grades for each class, and depending on which class you play, there are some completely new archetypes for you to explore. For example, there's Demo Knight, Gunslinger Engineer, and Trolldier. all of which either completely changes how a character is played, or it offers variation of an already existing playstyle. It's this weapon system that makes the combat feel slightly different each time you play, no matter who you're going up against. It's a fresh breath of air when compared to other hero shooters. And, oh god, does it feel weird to call TF2 a hero shooter. The point is, the very existence of these side grades makes the gameplay mechanics of TF2 just that more in-depth. And yeah, those are some unique game mechanics that I really like. Or at least some of them anyways. Obligatory tell the viewer to like and subscribe, join the Discord, it's pretty important too. And yeah, that's it. Alright, video's finally over. Now I can finally go back to playing a real game. Oh yeah.